I sat down the other day with Tammi Kaufman and we talked about fivefold ministry. Here's a bit of the interview for you. Can you in a really brief nugget, describe the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, the pastor, and the teacher?
An apostle has a heart to see the Great Commission fulfilled.
An apostle has the heart
to see the Great Commission fulfilled, even if he has to do it himself. He feels personally responsible for seeing the glory of God fill the earth. And it consumes him. And it's not just, it's a commission such that he's only the bearer of it, changes who he is. Mm-hmm. And a prophet has a heart for the revelation of God to come to earth and for us to follow that revelation. Mm-hmm. A teacher has a heart for people to know and love the truth, to understand truth. Mm-hmm. A pastor has a heart for people to genuinely care for each other. Mm-hmm. An evangelist has a heart to bring in the lost. He grieves for the path they're on and wants them to turn from their ways. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell, that's where their heart is. A pastor will see sheep who need to be protected and cared for and need nurturing. An apostle is going to see an army that needs to be woken up and trained for battle. Yeah. A teacher is going to see disciples who need truth and understanding. A prophet is going to see people who need to give and receive fresh revelation from God. An evangelist sees workers that need to get out into the harvest. Yeah. Not just their slaves, but it's like, get out there. The world needs you.
Luke 10:2, come on.
That's it.
Ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers, because the workers are few and the labor is plentiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
But these various hearts and visions conflict when they should complement.
Yeah. If I asked every one of the fivefold that question, this church is missing just one thing. What is it? Apostle.
The apostle is going to say they need a passion so they can go out and send and they need to spread the fire of God, but they need it themselves first. An apostle would see the need to, let's get busy, we need to get out and spread the word. And it's a little different than an evangelist. An evangelist is trying to reach the lost. An apostle sees the need. The primary need I think apostle would see is we need some fire under our butts instead of just being content here at home. An adventure kind of a thing.
Okay.
A prophet is going to say, well, what we need is for people to hear God's voice for themselves. Yeah. If everybody heard God's voice for themselves, everything would be taken care of because they're getting direction from God. They don't need me to tell them. They don't need the pastor to tell them. They're getting direction from God.
Right.
They got that relationship with God, that they've got that direct connection. And that's not to say not everybody can, what the prophet does, and that's a whole other side issue. You ask an evangelist, people need Jesus. We need to get out of here. We need to stop worrying about meetings and get out in the streets and start evangelizing people. We sing too much. We study too much. We read too much. We need to start putting it into practice.
We're educated way beyond our obedience level. Let's get out in the streets and evangelize.
And evangelists, but they learn. They learn about God out in the streets. That's where their church occurs.
Yeah. We learn by doing.
A pastor says we need connection. We need family.
Our greatest need is just a lack of community. Yes. We need everyone in small groups crying out loud.
If everybody gets in small groups, people come in, they'll feel connected, they'll stay, and then we can grow. And once that happens, everything. But see, now apostles.
Isn't it at the end of the day all about love? Love one another.
That's it. But now an apostle's thinking, but wait a minute here. If people know who they are and they know God and they have a good relationship with God, then they're going to connect with people because they're no longer afraid of people. Right. A teacher's going to think, well, once they understand truth, and it's kind of connected because truth is really about who I am and who God is. Right. And the ultimate goal of a teacher is that they walk in what they learn, not that it's just head knowledge. So everybody has a different way of getting to it, but it's all the same thing.
No harm will come of it.
It seems like number one, we think that works, but does it really work? And if we look at the church today, is it really working? When we do that, we tend to rely on the Romans 12 gifts, and we tend to rely on our natural gifts, but then we're no different than a Moose Club because they've got those same gifts functioning. We're no different than any other group that gets together because somebody's going to be able to teach, somebody's going to be generous, somebody's going to have the gift of mercy, and somebody's going to be able to administrate all that together and form a nice working unit. But we're still not able to access or store the power of God that comes from the Holy Spirit's gifts as a supernatural. We don't have that. We're still operating on our natural gifts. we don't have an apostle and a prophet working, and we have a pastor and teacher-led church, which is generally what's going to fall to. You're going to have a pastor, teacher-led church if you don't have an apostle or prophet. Mm-hmm. You end up with your church growing because disgruntled sheep aren't being cared for somewhere else and they come to your congregation. We've been an apostle or prophet-led church with the honoring of the evangelist. You're going to have your church being growing by new converts, and the pastor is going to have sheep, continue to have sheep to take care of. Because we don't want a congregation of people who have been believers all their lives to still remain sheep. The pastor always has a role of nurturing and connecting and gluing, bringing those new people and helping them feel connected to the body and to other people, nurturing them, caring for them, paying attention. But eventually you have to get to the point where you realize, I don't need my pastor hovering over me.
Right.
So we have this continual influx. So you got new believers coming in. The pastor takes care of them, teacher disciples them. And then eventually the apostle's going to send them out, but more coming in. And whether they send out and actually leave, or they're sent out but still kind of, this is their hub. It can look different ways. The senior leader.
The senior leader.
Has the responsibility before God.
Or the lead elder.
Or lead elder. Has the responsibility before God to see the vision that God has given him fulfilled in his congregation.
Right. Now, what I don't have the authority to do is tell you what your vision is.
No.
For your life.
No.
What I do have a responsibility to do, though, is hold you accountable.
To my vision.
To pursue it.
Yes. And you can help when I bring my vision to you. You can say, hey, wait a minute, I think this fits here. Let's see if it fits. And if it doesn't, then there's a blessing to help to go find where it fits. Rather than, no, our visions they're not the same thing, so they can't work together. Chances are very good they can.